Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. It is Saturday, and that means it's time for the Saturday stitch-uation. Thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And thank you so much for your comments and helping to share my channel. This is a weekly video where I talk about projects I'm working on, things that are coming up. I ask for ideas. If there's a contest that is announced and dealt with here, if I have a small fabric haul or even a small subscription, there's a couple that there's really not much to them, and I will do those on here too. So it's really a place for updates and general information, and it comes out every Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, unless I'm having some issues, and let's face it, I have issues. So this week is going to be short. I actually try to tape this throughout the week as things happen, and I've had an issue with my computer and I don't have any of that footage. So there's really nothing exciting to talk about that I lost. So we're going to recap that. I want to show you, I don't know if you can see this because of the glare. Let's see. It is still in its cellophane, but there's like a circle pattern to this. This is a 3-yard bundle of fabric that's 108 wide. So it's basically the equivalent of 9 yards. Does that make sense? So these are really good. They're good for backings. They're wide backs. So this is a 3-yard bundle from Keepsake Quilting, and they were having a sale. So I got this in a bunch of different colors, and they only had a couple patterns that you can pick from that were on this particular sale. So I got this swirly pattern in different shades of blue, tan, and I think a red. Not 100% sure, can't remember. And then I had gotten 2 star prints. This one, and then a red one that's more red with white stars, a little bit different print, but that was stars. And each of these were only $38.99. So let me get my calculator. $38.99 divided by 9, because that's basically what you're getting is 9 yards. It's $4.33 a yard. That is a good deal, and you don't have to piece it. And because it's bigger than you will probably need, you're going to have extra fabric for other things. So that was a nice find. Now I checked their website again on Thursday, and they had a couple things that were left, but it was a specific sale, and things are, I don't know if they're still available, but it's Keepsake Quilting that has that. Now they're a sister company to Pineapple Fabrics, and I really like Keepsake. So there's that. I went into a local quilt store this week and I picked up this book. I have a lot of yardage, and I want to start making things that are not using pre-cuts. I have a lot of those too, but something different. And I really like the two-tone. So here's a two-tone, but yet there's 4 different shades of the blue in there. And that's what this whole book is about, is using basically 2 colors. So I am looking forward to playing with these. And I also picked up some foundation sheets for Perfect Piecing, it's called. And it is blank paper piecing paper, so you can trace other patterns, make your own. It's going to be handy, and there's just 25 sheets here, but sometimes I'll get a kit and it has some pieces in there, or I copied it, so I have copy paper that I'm using. This will be a lot easier to transfer to and use. So if I run into that, I at least have this handy, because that's my goal, is to have things handy. I also picked up this cool little thing called a nifty notion. It is a needle threader, but it looks like a seam ripper because of the way it's packaged, but it's a long little wire that you use for manual threading, and this just seems like it would be easier to hold on to than some of the others. And I have had, looks like you can't see, but from here to here is that wire part that goes into the eye and then pulls out. So there's a good long wire in there, And I'm still trying to find what works best for me. So all-purpose needle threader with protective cover, fine diamond shaped wire for needle sizes 1 through 10. I was able to buy this used. It's the Kimberbell Hello Sunshine embroidery version for this really cute quilt. And this quilt was shown when I did the my girlfriend's quilt shop tour. And this is the one that the manager was saying she likes a lot. And I was talking about the vinyl because they do have some blocks right here that are a vase with the flower coming out of it. And this is actually vinyl that they're using on here. So I'm excited. I have been able to put my hands on this. Now, an update on my little blocks for the Reflections quilt. This week I'm working on red. This is all the farther I've gotten, so it just needs the blocks. Oh no, to find the right bundle. Anyway, the blocks just have to be sewn together and pressed, and I'm done. So that is concerning that this just popped out, and there it is. If you can't tell, these are ombre. So I've got lighter and darker reds. Actually, each color grouping is that way. So it's really important I keep the right colors together. So this will be block number 3 out of that. My goal is to do one of these a week. I'm working on a quilt for Monday. I talked about this a little bit. It's basically this purple quilt that is being recreated. And so you'll see this on Monday. The best way to do this, my goal is to get the pattern written and posted, to my softsquares.com website for a free download. If it's not there on Monday, it will be coming sometime soon after that, but it will be a pattern on how to make this, and I'm going to make this bigger than this purple one, so it will be for the bigger size. So watch for that. And just so you know, if you want to sew along with me or be more up on what I'm doing with that quilt, this quilt takes 8 1/2 yard pieces of fabric, and they're paired up in sets of 4 with 2 pieces or 2 fabrics per block. So this is a block, this is a block, this is a block, and my 4th one is this one. And then I have all my other strips ready to be added and pressed, and then we're going to do borders, so come back on Monday. Okay, I have something exciting. So this quilt pattern I've been talking about, this I had gotten from the American Patchwork Quilting magazine. This is a free block of the month digital download. You can go to allpeoplequilt.com, and it's the seasonal sampler, and this is downloadable. There's 12 different styles of blocks here, and there's multiples. So like this one, the tree is a block and the snowman's a block, so you're going to make multiples to kind of mix them up however you want, but they count the tree as its own block and the snowman as its own block, as well as these smaller ones. So you can multiply it, mix it up. But they've also given you, oh, by the way, these are 12-inch blocks. They've also given you patterns that are 6-inch blocks for any block that is square. So these long ones right here are 6 by 9, and that's just the size that they are. But they have given us 2 options of sizes so we can mix it up more if we want. But this is something I've been wanting to get myself ready for. I printed out all the patterns. I found all of my fabric. I spent a day, and I mean a day, getting all of my blocks together. So one on here it says block 7, which is the snowman block. I'm making 2 6 by 12 blocks, and I have all the fabric for just those little blocks, including the background fabric. And I'm going to be using a really light gray instead of white. And so this is block 8, block 5, and I'm making the number of pieces that this pattern calls for. There's nothing that says you have to do it this way, but like the star block, there's 1 2 3 of those. And the ornament block, there's 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. I'm making exactly what they're saying just because right now that's what I'm doing. You can make as many of whatever you want, and all these others are 2 of the big blocks. So I have these cut out exactly how their pattern says. Block 11, which is the mitten block, has 2. So I'm excited to work on this and be able to pull out my bag, pull out any block, doesn't matter which one, and then it has the number on it, so I can come over here and I have labeled my patterns. So I wrote 1 through 12 and I just gave each of my patterns a number and how many I'm making. It also says the same on the bag, but I think this will go quickly. I've also saved all of the fabric that I used to cut this out of, and this is going to be kind of scrappy, but in case I made a mistake or I want to make more, I have another bag this size of like the rest of the fabric, because I'm not going to touch it until this quilt is done, as again a lot of it was scrappy and I don't think I would be able to do it again. So I have this and I'm ready to work on it. Last Saturday we talked briefly about this bundle of fabric. There's 10 fat quarters of coordinating fabric, and they coordinate with BYU University, which is where my husband went to school. So I'm making him a quilt, or I will be using that. I've also got myself a project bag with a bunch of other blues so I can incorporate them in there. And I was looking at 2 different patterns, but they each required 12 different fat quarters. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be adding this color to it. It needs more light. And not exactly sure. Maybe this one. We'll see. But the point is, I asked you guys for your input on which pattern I should use, and most of you were saying to go with this one. So I'm going to do the woven. I'm going to start cutting that one out. Don't know when we're going to work on it, me, myself, and I. But I have decided on the woven pattern, thanks to you guys. This last week I posted videos on the RebsFabStash box opening, and I did one of their projects, so there's 2 videos for that. There's also 2 individual videos for blocks of the month. One is Cotton Club's Mystery Quilt. It's the small size, and this is for fall, and I'm doing it in a really pretty peach colorway, and that's block 7 or clue 7. And then the other one that I had done is the Daydreamer or Silver Jubilee quilt through Annie's Kits, and that's the big 16-inch blocks that are in the blue. So if you have not seen those, go back and find those. And that was block 9 on that one. So I'm getting really close to the end of both of those. This is my embroidery machine. This is the quilt cover that I made in Maker's Monday a week ago. And here's my machine and how I've had it covered, just with some scrap fabric. And then there's the embroidery arm. So this is why I like how this turned out, but and I'm not done with it, but I still need something actually big enough to cover the embroidery arm, although this is working. I was thinking I needed it out enough, but this is a good dust cover just how it is. These are the loops for buttons, because the instructions have you making it so you can close it on the side. Let's see here. And I just don't have the there we go. So that's what it will look like when I get the button on, which means we're quite a bit short down here. But if I just lay it on top like I have been the last couple of weeks, it actually covers everything I need it to cover for dust quite well. Let's see. There, yeah. So for now, that's what I'm doing with it. And I'm playing with my hoops and getting things going. And then this is something I made a few weeks ago. That's my little organizer. Cute, huh? And this is Piper. Say hi to everybody. Hi, pretty girl. This is my work area if you haven't seen it. This is what I see when I'm standing here. Here's where I sew. Over in the corner, that white thing right there is the machine I used to have sitting over here. Then I rearranged. Anyway, And then here's the embroidery machine, which is right here. It's a sewing and embroidery machine, but I just refer to it as embroidery because that's really all I use it for. Except for when my sewing machines are not working right. And I did have to use that machine for sewing, and it's a great machine for sewing. I just really like it for embroidery. These are strips I'm putting together for the border for Monday's project. This is my area where my quilts have been stacking up because that cupboard is kind of full and that one's kind of full, and I need to get more organized. This is recycle. All right, a personal update. I didn't have anything really exciting to talk about last week. The last 2 weeks have basically just been dealing with cardiology and tests, and everything has come back fine. So I'm cleared for surgery. Now I'm waiting for when that's going to happen. My shoulder's really been bothering me. I was kind of hoping that maybe it getting postponed twice, once for COVID and once for them not being comfortable with my heart, that maybe it was a sign that I shouldn't get it done. But my shoulder is really, really bothering me. So whenever they tell me they're ready for me, that will be happening. So we'll go. That's it for today. I will see you next week. Don't forget to check in on Monday for Monday's Maker, where I'm making this quilt that's behind me. And thanks for joining me today. Have a great day.